Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Mono Black Aggro, and we are playing Humidian Hatchery, which is an awesome new land that is essentially a Bitter Blossom on a land, but you have to have that land die before you get the insects. You get 1/1 flying insects. And we have a powerful card that I'd never even heard of before that gets that into play. And that is a card called Dredge. That's right. It's not just an archetype. It is a card. And it says for 1 black mana, instant, sacrifice a creature or land, draw a card. Now, it doesn't target a creature or a land. It can be anything. You just sacrifice something. But it's importantly not part of the cost. So, in theory, like they could counter it and then you don't get to lose your hatchery. So that backed up by just a very cool shell of like no reserve list cards. There's not a single reserve list card in this deck. You can build the entire deck for a few $100s. Dark Ritual. We have Cecil Dark Knight, new card from Final Fantasy, really powerful 1-drop. We have Nethergoyfs, Stalactite Stalkers, which have the Descend ability, and they also have a removal trigger. You can pay 2 colors and 1 black and kill other creatures. Pretty awesome. And of course, Nethergoyf has the escape. So we have things we can do late game if we've cashed our hand. We also have Hymn to Tark, one of my favorite cards of all time. We have 4 Douthie Voidwalkers and 3 Nilespell Bombs to combat the Reanimator menace. And we have 4 Bowmasters, which are still pretty good. 4 Thoughtseize plus 4 Unmask in the sideboard for unfair, fast combo matchups. We have Damping Sphere, which is really strong against anything that is trying to use soul lands or 12 post type lands. We've got Torpor Orb, which is good against a lot of decks. It's probably good against the deck I'm already playing against because I forgot to start recording earlier. I'm playing against Jeskai Wizards. And then we've got Barragoyfs, which are just our aggro kind of like option. I don't play these main deck because Blue Black Reanimator will Thoughtseize them and then reanimate them and kill you with them. And it's really humiliating to die your own Barragoyf. I don't recommend playing main deck Barragoyfs right now. And then we've got the 4th Nilespell Bomb. So we're already in game 2. I won the first game. We're up against a very powerful deck. Jeskai Wizards, not a good matchup for us. This hand sucks, frankly. Bowmaster is good, but like Dredge doesn't do anything. We don't have any targets. Cecil is never going to flip. Against them, they have tons of removal. Fatal Push sucks. I'm going to mull. This is an okay hand. Again, we got the double Dredge. I know it seems like a janky card. There's a reason you've never heard of it before. But, yeah, I don't want to go deeper because our deck just doesn't have card advantage. I think I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to put back one of the Dredges, and I'm going to hope that we find a Hatchery. The previous hand was probably actually better because it had a Bowmaster, and that's one of the best things you can do against their deck. But don't fool yourself. They have tons of removal. They have the Flame of Anor, in addition to having 4 Plows and probably at least 2 Prismatic Endings. It is just a through and through Jeskai control deck that has Tomio running in the background. Okay, so I think the play here, we could wait a turn. We could fetch Stalker, and then Stalker is a little buffer. I like that more than just Thoughtseizing because at least we're doing something proactive. They had Jace in game 1. I was able to Thoughtseize it, but it was terrifying. Yeah, so I'm going to do it this way just to get a land out of our deck. They're not going to be removing our lands. Okay. This is Tarn for Mountain. Thundertrap Trainer. They played like 4 of these in the previous game. 3 of them. And they found a Brainstorm. Okay, that's good to know about. We do have evasion on this Stalactite Stalker. Okay, so this is... I think we start by Thoughtseizing him. Okay. Look at this hand. Look at this. What year is it? My goodness. They do have another land. They don't have access to a basic plains, so they're going to grab a Tundra and we'll be able to waste it if we find a Wasteland. 4th is super scary though. Jace is a few turns away. I mean, Plow is probably the most directly impactful thing they're doing. But they could find a Snapcaster to bounce it back. I definitely feel like we could lose the 4th, but we do have... Yeah, I mean, Douthie's super evasive. I think I'm going to take the Plow. Unfortunately, we are not going to proc Stalactite Stalker. And had they countered that for some reason, then we would have gotten... Okay, so Glyph's a 2/3. They're brainstorming. They're going to probably fetch with Tarn. We don't know what they're putting back, but I presume they're putting back 4th because they're not really ready for it, and it is dangerous to cast. Jace is annoying, but like I can remove their blocker and probably get in and kill him. Jace is what you want to slam when you're stable. Okay, there's the Tarn. This might be getting like a... Okay, they're just foregoing white completely. That's fine. Okay, they've revealed Force of Will. That's good to know about. I think there's a good chance they try to force this Douthie. Or, yeah, I think this is probably just a him here. I think they may force the Douthie and then we him them. Let's try that. And if they force this does grow our Goyf. And it gives us Descent. It's worth noting, though, that like if they Jace next turn, yeah, they did force there, pitching a Spell Pierce. Okay, so that does grow our Goyf and our Stalker. I'm going to attack with both. Man, if I attack with this, they could double block. I get to kill one. It's pretty bad. I think we do attack with both of them and we just trade. It sucks. But like I would absolutely double block here. Yeah, and they are doing... Because this is going to grow... They can just Jace this back to our hand. It sucks. It really sucks. I didn't have the mana to Fatal Push one of those. Okay, the Ponder. Okay, so we're not going to have to face Jace yet. I doubt 4th Aerolingus is still in their hand. We did get a 2-for-1 when they forced, so that's not nothing. Please don't have a land. They may have put back the Jace. They have access to basic white now. This might be like a Prismatic Ending. This could also be like the Flame. Another Thunder Trap. Like, we have no business beating this deck, frankly. But I'm going to try my hardest. We do have another game after this. Yeah, that's devastating. That was our only clock. They're down to 2 cards, though. Okay, Hatchery is a great draw because it is a potential win con after the dust settles from this. And they pitch the Plains and a Brainstorm. I'm just going to chill in case they rip a Tommy. I'm not going to Fatal Push these. Yes! Yeah, I'll just instep this. They have a lot of live draws. Douthie is great. I want to wait. If they draw a Spell Pierce, that would suck. If they don't cast anything, I'm going to assume they may have like a Spell Pierce. They play a Planeswalker like a Jace, then... yeah, I don't feel confident that we're going to get there with this alone. But we are going to get there faster than they're going to get there. So I take 2 here. Maybe I do this because it digs me deeper into the deck and I might find a Beargoyf. I won't have a land to use the Beargoyf with. I'm going to just do it now. They're tapped out. We get the first crack. Okay, that's a bad rip. But it is the 3rd land in case we do find a Beargoyf. Come on, deck. That's definitely a nice dodge. Let's attack for 2. And I'm not feeling this one. I think we're almost certainly dead here. They've got so many live draws. Snapcaster would be just totally annihilate. Planeswalkers, like Jace, just turns our board into a joke. Okay, that's good. They ripped a land. They didn't even attack. Okay, I think that was probably a mistake. I'll play out the land. We don't have Brainstorm. We're just hoping to get lucky here. If they leave a card in their hand, I will go after it, but I don't know what they would draw. That sucks. Yeah, I mean, that like blocks and it breaks parity. They should start attacking. I don't know why they're not attacking. Yeah, nothing I can do. I will attack with both, but they're going to block 1. They'll drop to 6. They should attack with Tomio, but it's possible that my him has something to do here next turn. Oh my goodness. Where is my Barry? Where's Uncle Barry when you need him? Okay. I hope they crack and just chill, and then I can potentially him something out of their hand. If they have like a Brainstorm, I'll just concede. No thanks. I'm done. I'm good. That immediately flips Tomio and just runs amok. Sorry, Jace. Delver would like a word with you with its Pyroblasts. My goodness, Jace is not a legacy playable card. Don't get it twisted. I've tried to make him work. He sucks. There are people out there that swear by him. But he is not good. Damping Sphere does shut off the annoying otters, but that's all it does. I don't think it's good enough. Or not Damping Sphere, I mean Torpor Orb. Creatures entering don't cause abilities to trigger. That does stop. It's not free. It does hurt our Bowmasters a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to run it back. We did draw a lot of lands there. We could cut a land. Right on the play, I'm not going to cut a land. I don't want to mull an otherwise great hand. That was actually closer than I thought it'd be. Okay, this is the hand. This is the hand. Turn 1, Thoughtseize. Turn 1, Nethergoyf. Turn 2, Thoughtseize, Stalactite Stalker. Turn 3, Dredge, create a bunch of dudes, or if we have enough mana, Bearglyph. This is a great hand though. 7 minutes on the clock. We don't get the immediate trigger off Hatchery, but Hatchery can attack through like a Tomio if that's their first play. I think it's worth playing her, of course. So I am glad that I did that. Tomio completely solos. Well, we might just double Thoughtseize here, depending on what they do. I don't mind losing life because there's the possibility of us drawing a Cecil. Oh, Surgical? They don't get priority to cast it. So, Flame of Manure flips. There's so many cards I want to take here. I think also Dress Down is very strong against Nethergoyf. So, I think we have to take the Snapcaster. That much has to happen, frankly. And then I think we need to take the Ponder too and just hope that they don't get the Flame of Manure. But Flame of Manure can kill Bearglyph. I'm just going to take Snap. I think it's really strong here. And then I'm going to go ahead and Thoughtseize again. I don't want them to find any more land. And we're just going to bank on them not finding land in time. They have the Mystic Sanctuary, which sucks. Okay, they're coming in for a hug. And the reason we took Snapcaster there is like, it's such a good card. Like in this type of matchup where we don't have enough pressure to win. Okay, they found a land, so we're totally screwed. We're totally cooked. I don't know why Surgical's in their deck, frankly. It shouldn't be in there, but it is. Okay, they cracked the clue. All right. Let's think about what we can do here. Douthie. I think it has to be Douthie. If they have like a force or something, then this forces and then Stalker gets bigger. I don't know. Like I just need to be able to hit Tammy when she flips, and she is going to flip next turn. No, wait. If they use Sanctuary, then she won't necessarily flip. But if they have a different land, then she will. If they just run or land, then yeah. Thunder Trap, can't do anything about that. Plow. Okay. And so next turn they have Flame of Manure. They have 2 wizards. No way we're going to kill them all. So Bearglyph doesn't want to come out this turn cycle. We waste a red source. That might actually be okay. Okay, let's think about it. What would an extremely aggro approach? We just disregard the berry. I think it's waste here. Then we dredge. We get 3 dudes. Let's go ahead and do that first. I've basically decided that I want to do this. Okay, we got another Stalker, which we could play instead of the Nethergoyf, which is not hurt as badly by Dress Down because it has counters on it. So we're going to waste this. We're going to go ahead and Stalker. These both get buffed. We'll come in for 4. Again, if Tomio flips, which she's going to flip to Flame of Manure, that's just game basically because we just don't have the offensive capabilities to keep her down. This double triggers. They scooped to that. Holy cow. How did we win that? Well, I'll tell you how we won it. They kept it greedy, kind of like they got lucky to draw the Flooded Strand. Yeah, man. All right. See you in round 2. Before we do round 2, I want to shout out Lorenzo Tassone, very accomplished Italian legacy player who built the deck that my deck is based off of. Like I made a few modifications to make it no reserve list and also to kind of like make it, the Be Excellent style of having lots of 4-ofs and stuff, but it's practically the same. So hyped to see him get a 5-0 after lots of 4-1s and hoping to do the same in this league. But shout out to Lorenzo. Round 2, we're on the draw against an unknown opponent. They've already mulliganed. This hand is great. I'm going to snap keep this. It's got a lot of flexibility. It's got a turn 1 hatchery, which again is just potential. Like this doesn't always get converted. Sometimes you just did a bunch of damage to yourself for no reason, but we have Cecil who benefits from us doing damage to ourselves. Chromox, okay. Probably the Epic Storm or some variant. I would love for this to be like a cool white variant, but it's probably not. Island. Okay, they're down to 3 cards in hand. This hand's going to hopefully get across before they empty their hand completely. I'm trying to figure out what they would be on. Like they may be on the Hull Breacher deck. Oh, Thoughtseize would be great. I am going to play the Hatchery, and I think we just Cecil here. That makes the most sense. Next turn, him is going to be insane if there is a next turn. So Cecil, we can get him flipped pretty quickly. He has Death Touch, too. I mean, this card is just, like, insane. Like, this is a really strong card. It's legendary, so I can't play 4 of them. I mean, you could play 4 of them, but I'm only playing 3. Wow, they don't have any plays. All right, this Dark Ritual really blows it open for us. So, my instinct is to just play the other Hatchery and do a lot of damage to ourselves. I don't think they're an aggro deck. Let's start with this Dark Rit. Okay, that worked. How about him? Does that work? And I am not going to attempt to bait. Okay. They discarded Omniscience and Stock Up. How about Bowmasters? Does that work? I'm just going to ping myself so I can get closer. Let's see. We attack for 2. They go to 18. We go to 15. Yeah, if we ping ourselves, we'll go to 15. And then next turn... No, wait, we'll go to 14. Yeah, so I want to ping myself. And then I can flip Cecil pretty fast with these hatcheries. So, yeah. And I think that'll matter. I mean, it's like a 4/4 lifelink. It also protects my other creatures. Okay, they're just stuck on mana. They needed another mana to be able to cast their stock ups and stuff, and they aren't finding it, which... Music to my ears. Okay, this helps us descend. I will go ahead and play this out. Now I will play this out. I could play these out after combat, but I need to trigger and I want to make use of the mana. Now we're going to attack. I am going to attack with... There's no reason to attack with Bowmasters. Like, they could have like a Hull Breacher. No, they're playing Omniscience. I don't think they're going to have Hull Breacher. Because if Cecil flips, and now we can just Incept Surveil. Oh, I should have freaking fetched because I could have descended there. That was a punt. I should have just grabbed it like end of turn. Okay, now they have 3 lands. So we're in the danger zone. Show and tell zone. If we find Dredge, then I think we can win in the subsequent turn. We definitely don't need a backup Cecil. Even though we could play him, I'd much rather find a Thoughtseize or something disruptive. Okay, we found a Cecil anyway. So let's think about this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's so close to death. So close. And because I drew the fetch, I could have technically pinged myself there. I'm going to go ahead and attack everything. This will get them to like 1. They can't even fetch anymore. Oh, it's not. I was off. It's 3. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and play this out. I guess I can play this out. My understanding is this is a different Cecil, so I will not have to choose one. Just in case, like, good luck, opponent. You have 1 turn. I can also, like, kill your stuff with Stalactite Stalker's ability. Intuition. Okay. I mean, they may be able to win this. They go get a bunch of show and tells. Yep, you have a show and tell. I'll be very impressed if they can win, but I think they probably have it. Like, yeah. Do you have an Emrakul? You have Omniscience. What else do you have? Ah, they didn't have it. Okay. Well, that was lucky. That was super lucky. That is touch and go at the end. So, Unmask comes in for sure. Very good card against them. Torpor Orb doesn't actually stop the Emrakul trigger. It's just not worth considering. They're getting their mana the fairway, so Damping Sphere doesn't really help. I mean, Damping Sphere can do stuff, but it just doesn't feel right here. But then we are taking some cards out. We're taking out Nile Spellbomb. You can bring in Baraglyph here, but I don't think it really matters. Like, Baraglyph doesn't come out till pretty late. And even if you Dark Ritual him out, there's not a lot of stuff in the graveyard, so he's still pretty weak. We can cut a land. And then we have a good number of black cards. I mean, you might be saying, like, Damping Sphere slows down Omniscience, and it does. Do we want to play it? Yeah, I think we could play 1. But then what are we cutting? We're cutting a black card, which would have powered Unmask. Oh, we got the Fatal Pushes, of course. Yeah. So maybe we do bring these in. If we're bringing these in, maybe we do bring in a Barragoyf. But then maybe we just want to bring in a land for consistency. I'll bring in a Barragoyf. Sure. Now we just raised the curve quite a bit there. But hopefully we don't get punished. We'll see how we mulligan. Okay, this is the hand. I mean, it's what we want to be doing, right? Like disrupting them, Damping Sphere, unmask, pitching unmask, casting a Douthie to start beating them down. It's not exciting, but yeah. They have a fail rate and they hit it last game and maybe they'll hit it again. Ponder. I do think that Damping Sphere is what we put in off of Show and Tell if they get a quick Show and Tell. Okay. I will just start by unmasking them. They could have a daze. I think it's unlikely, but I will respect that. Actually, I'll just unmask pitching this Dredge. It doesn't have anything to do. We might be able to do it a second time. We might also draw a Dark Ritual and be able to hardcast unmask. Okay, so Dredge goes out. All right, so they have pretty redundant action here. I actually think that Ponder is probably the card we take. Just because it gives them like we're not going to take the intuition itself. Like they may be able to actually intuition for both parts of the combo. So maybe it does make sense to take intuition, but it is a lot of mana. I don't think it makes sense to take Lorien Revealed, but Lorien Revealed is something to do after they've put Omni in. I'm going to take the Ponder and then we'll just pass. And what I can do is if I get Douthie out, I might be able to like take some crazy card. Like Omniscience for that wouldn't be very good in my deck. But like if they have like an Emrakul or something, I could Douthie and then, activate Douthie or Douthie, then unmask and then use the Emrakul. That would be sweet. Okay, Stalker is something we can do here. I think we could Stalker and then just waste them. And that's going to do functionally almost as much damage next turn as Douthie. And it's disruptive. So let's do that. And I'll hold the unmask for one more turn cycle. Okay, so that worked. We got a 2/2 on the table. Just an honest day's work. Climbing around on the stalactites over here. Okay, they have an island. That's a new card that we didn't see before. So their hand is still known. Otawara, Intuition, Lorien Revealed. They'll probably Lorien Revealed in step. They should Lorien Revealed with the Douthie on the stack. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can sneak this in because if I can sack Douthie to get a Lorien Revealed. Oh, I think you just made a mistake. Now, do we want to just unmask them? I'll go ahead and swing in first. And then I do think this might be an unmask just to slow the roll. Okay, and there's the Show and Tell. I think I'm going to take that. Yeah, they didn't have any way to interact. They should Lorien Revealed, but it does put it in the void for me if I want to use it, but I probably won't because I'll just want to beat it. It's obviously Show and Tell. I don't know why I'm thinking so. Okay. And for some reason, they're not Lorien Revealing. Wasteland. This is good. It's a good card. I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug first, and then I will waste them afterward. And this buffs this, so it speeds up our clock. You get Intuition if you'd like. Are they going to just grab a bunch of Show and Tells? That's fine. So with the Show and Tell in hand, there's not really any reason to cast this. It's probably better to conceal information here. They don't have a land drop for turn, as far as I can tell. I think what they were trying to do is the Ponder. I think they were trying to set it up where they could use Lorien Revealed as soon as they got the card into play, Omniscience, and that's why they aren't cycling. But it's going to cost them a land drop. Okay, Ancient Tomb. Okay, so they can still do it. All right, and actually that makes Damping Sphere better. So I'll probably just cast that out next turn unless I draw something better. And now I feel like I made a mistake not casting it out. Okay. What do we do? So we're taking 6. This does not change the math at all. They have Intuition if they want it. They can even cast a spell with the Ancient Tomb. I think I'm going to play the Damping Sphere. And then I can just put the Douthie in. Because this way they have to do the Intuition now if they want to be able to tap for 2. Okay. I guess they don't want an Intuition this turn. And you can't Intuition. Oh, how sweet it is. And they're putting themselves to dead. They're going to finally Lorien cycle. Yeah. All right. So hand is Intuition, Show and Tell, Island. They have to win immediately. They can't cast any spells after they have cast the second spell. So and even if it's a okay, they're just not doing it? Really? Okay. I think the play it's hard to know. What do they have in exile here? I mean, I do want to do damage, but like I'm trying to think if there's anything that could be good here. Could do no, I have to cast it at sorcery speed, right? So it's not like I can if a card choose an exile card, you may play it without paying its mana cost. So I do have the option of doing this because I have them dead next turn anyway. So I attack for 3, I put a Douthy out, and then they're dead next turn. One option is just to Intuition and go get a bunch of Bowmasters and play one of those. That does proc my Stalactite Stalker, so it hits for more. I might be overthinking this. But pretty much everything they're going to do is likely going to involve drawing cards, I would imagine, because they don't have a lot of cards in their grip. It will be embarrassing if they have like a force. It's also possible that it's better to draw a Lorien Reveal because then I can like waste them, but they're not going to be able to tap this anyway. I think I just go ahead and attack with everything, and then they can't tap this for mana, so they won't be able to pay for many Damning Sphere triggers. And then I'll just play this one out too. All right. Your move. Okay, this is the Intuition. They're going to go get Omniscience, right? Because Emrakul does not do it. I can attack right around Atraxa if that's what they get. So they would need to do multiple stuff, and they can't do multiple stuff in one turn. And no, Omniscience does not turn off the Damping Sphere's effect. So they Show and Tell, they get Omniscience. They need to play a land, yeah. All right, we're 2-0. Round 3, we're up against an unknown opponent. On the draw, this is the awkward Dredge hand. I mean, this is not a good card. You've never heard of it for a reason. Yeah, I don't think we keep this. It's just 2 dead cards. Bowmaster is probably good. It's not necessarily good. I mean, we can Stalker Descend. We could sack the token to Dredge to draw a card. I don't know. It's not great. Yeah, I guess I'm going to keep it. Like, I don't want to get like a non-functional 7. Like where we don't have enough land and suddenly we're at 5. Misty, my opponent was playing Beanstalk back in the day. I don't know if they're crazy enough to play that right now. It's not good, unfortunately. It's a deck dear to my heart, but it's not very good right now. It's not fast enough. Very few decks care about like accruing long-term card advantage. It's all about like getting the One Ring into play, unfortunately. Okay, so I think this is just fetch Stalker. Stalker immediately gets big enough that we don't have to worry about One Ring. Or Bowmasters on the opposing side. Stalker comes out. And we pass. And, you know, I'm operating under the assumption that our opponent is not on like blue-black Reanimator. Just because they have nothing in their history to suggest they would be capable of such degeneracy. There's a Brainstorm. My Bowmasters get itchy whenever a Brainstorm cast gets cast and they're not on the battlefield to take advantage of it. Don't Fatal Push me, bro. Oh. And my opponent is very disciplined and they're not playing. And so I don't think they're on Reanimator anymore because Reanimator doesn't need to play removal. It can just be broken. Ignore. Stuff like that. It has no earthly concerns like having to remove creatures. Doesn't Archon remove creatures for you? Why not just Archon? I'm going to Spellbomb. I'm going to Goyf into Spellbomb because actually I don't really care whether the Spellbomb resolves. But it might be good for like a later Murktide. But I'm not going to speculatively try to stop a Murktide here. It sucks if they have Murktide. They would need a land, like a fetch land. Actually, if they fetch, I might go ahead and hit their graveyard just because that might be signal that they have Murktide. But they need a 5th card. Well, I guess they could just hardcast. By the way, this is a sick looking swamp. Modern Horizons 3. I don't think I've ever seen this. It's like an Emrakul destroyed the villa, the town. This is a great island too. Also Modern Horizons 3. Looks like some Eldrazi have been doing some weird sorcery to the stones over there. Okay. They didn't fetch, so I don't think they have a Merc because this would have been a great opportunity to just Merc. Okay, Goyf's fine. I think we play this out. We go to combat. I mean, they could have a Bowmaster, and I so badly want them to Bowmaster before I Bowmaster. This goes to the graveyard immediately when I activate it, so... And its ability goes on the stack. So they can't Bowmaster ambush me here. Murderous Cut! Well, that works. I will just hit their grave. I didn't expect that, but that confirms my suspicions are on Beanstalk. I'm going to start by just exiling these cards. I want to draw through. Just to keep their graveyard lean. I could wait for better timing, but it's okay. I want to see what I draw. Okay, Cecil is a better play than a Goyf here, in my opinion, just because that allows us to keep up Wasteland. Well, I mean, we can do the same thing with Nether Goyf. Nether Goyf hits harder. I think I can hold the Cecil, and if they like murk and start attacking us, like they're not going to murk. I don't know why. I'll do this, and then I'll just chill. And I'm going to assume this is the only non-basic in their deck, and we are going to be able to waste something here. But unless they didn't fetch, so I'll wait till my turn cycle. You never waste until it's your turn. There's no tactical value. I mean, there might be an extreme corner case where it makes sense to waste during your opponent's turn. Yeah, that's great. So I'll definitely be wasting that green source probably here. Just keeping their option. Well, I mean, the fact that they put we could, in theory, draw something that's relevant. I don't have a land. No, I do have a land in my graveyard. What am I missing? I'm missing instant. Okay, Fatal Push, not a great card here, but they do probably play Bowmasters. I think I could go ahead and Cecil. I am worried that they have Daze. If they're on like the old lists, those plays Daze. I don't think Daze is great, but a lot of people seem to like it. The other option is I could just Bowmaster them after combat. I think that's fine. Well, actually, I think I want to do this now. Do I want to do this now? No, I want to hold it for their Bowmaster because I want to make sure my Bowmaster is on the table. Yeah, I'll just hit him like that. I should have technically cast my Cecil first. I am going to cast him. This is eliciting a pause, which if they decide to kill this is great for us. Okay, and then I will just go ahead and... I'll wait and see if they fetch, and then I'll do it in the upkeep. Because like it might affect... Like if they fetch now to surveil, they are... Okay. Trop. So it didn't change anything. I am going to waste to deny the mana. Bargain. I can't do anything about that. It's a good card, but at least it's not happening with a Beanstalk out. Okay, and the cards they put in their graveyard are lands. It looks like 2 lands. Yeah, so they got some juiciness off that. That's fine. Ponder. Again, like my disciplined take was don't just cast your Bowmasters out, but it often is correct to just play out of Bowmasters. But I suspect they play Bowmasters, and maybe they're just holding it in anticipation of Bowmastering my Bowmaster. I imagine they have a land drop here because they binned 2 lands there, I think. Tommy, not aside for Sore Eyes. Wasteland. Okay. I do need to be mana efficient. If they have Daze, it's a bummer, but I need to get her off the table, and so I can have Bowmasters up next turn. If they have Daze, it's a real bummer. Okay, they don't. That's great. Hatchery! Let's go ahead and attack. I do have 4 types, technically. I could bring back a Goyf, but I think it's more important to get my Bowmaster on here. Do I have an instant in the graveyard? I do. So there's no merit to dredging now. Okay. My patience is going to pay off here. Play this out. And let's see what they ping. Ping me. It's fine. Now I'm going to just immediately clear it so they can't block. Not that they were going to. Yeah, I'll just do that. That way I can still dredge. I can wait and... I am kind of worried that they might have a second Bowmaster. I think it does make sense to just dredge this away because it's likely going to come back, and I don't want to lose extra stuff. Whoa, that's so good. Okay. So next turn, we potentially have like a lot of stuff going on. Everything is kind of like a negative matchup for Beans right now, like including our deck. I think our deck is favored. Witherbloom is great. We do have a replacement Beans. Or a replacement Bowmaster, so I'm so used to playing Beans myself. I played it for like a solid year until, of course, it got power crept out by, Tomio. Like, why bother playing this when you could just play a whole bunch of Tamios? So, they do have the beans in. We keep drawing this card. All right. I'm going to go ahead and attack and just see what they do. Wait, is there a way that we can... No, it doesn't work this turn. Attack with all creatures. And actually, if they counter my Dredge, it's good for me because I've got another one. So that's what I'm going to hope, is that they counter my Dredge. They may have a Brainstorm in hand. I'm going to risk it. I want to lock them off. Okay, that's great. Take another one while you're at it. And I'm going to go ahead and do this now around because it is a card draw. I've got so much material on the table. Dark Ritual. Okay. That probably doesn't do anything. But it is nice. Like, we could Dark Ritual out another Goyf if, like, somehow they clear our board. Like, Pernicious Deed, main deck. I have no idea what Beans players would be playing right now because every time I've tried to play it, I think the best I've done is like a 3-2. And that was a couple months ago before the meta centralized around Tomio. Okay. Baragway's pretty good here. Fatal Push really just answers Tomio and Bowmasters, which Bowmasters itself answers. They are a Wasteland deck. I don't really want to take out my lands if I can avoid it. Him is good here. It's hard because Douthie is reasonable here. Stalker's probably the weakest card just because they have the ability to like ping it. Every other creature survives a Bowmaster except for Stalker. It's a pretty bad top deck against their Bowmaster deck. I don't want to cut the Nile Spell Bombs. Actually, I might want to go up a Spell Bomb. Just play all 4. Because that's a way of keeping them off Merc, which is hard for our deck to deal with. I think we trim a push. Now we're down to 3. I mean, they could have their own Nether Goyfs or Baragwayfs. Yeah, I like having 3 in here. I'm going to do this. Okay, this is pretty solid. Baragwayf is insane against them. If we could find a 3rd mana, we have a... Yeah, we'll see what they do here. We can get this ticking up. I mean, even if they waste it, it's not that bad because we get a bunch of insects, right? I do expect them to have Pernicious Deed. So I don't think we have all the time in the world. Another Thoughtseize. I want to get Cecil on the table just so I'm doing something. And then next turn I can potentially Cecil, like Thoughtseize twice. It'll suck if they have... Yeah, we just need to be aggressive. I don't want to just Thoughtseize and do nothing next turn. Like, no damage. These 2 cards are a great combo. Please waste me. All right. I will take it. I'll take the dude and I'll take the tempo swing. Whenever you waste somebody, it's negative tempo. All right. So let's go ahead and start. I don't think they're going to be able to ambush me or anything, but let's go ahead and do this. They may have a Brainstorm, but that'll require them to fetch and get a bad Brainstorm here. Oh, are you going to Fatal Push my Cecil? Veil. That is an insane card. Absolutely insane. And it just didn't even occur to me that you'd have that. But I mean, like, what were we going to do? Not cast our Thoughtseize? We didn't have any other play. We just had to take it. Right? So we're looking for lands. We've got 17 left in the deck. They are set up on mana over there. They probably have a Bowmaster. Oh. I mean, could they have another Veil? If they have a Bowmaster, I want to know about it before I attack in. Because they could ping and they'll most likely just ping this. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to Thoughtseize them again. I would like to cast my Nether Goyf, but it's important for me to stop their action. I think it's likely they're just going to Bowmaster here, ping this, then I'm not going to be able to attack. Yeah, I anticipated everything. Unfortunately, being able to anticipate something doesn't mean you can prevent it. In some situations you can, but we're still going to get a look at their hand. Okay, they have an insane hand. This is utterly insane. They don't have double blue because they chose to play a Bayou, which I don't generally play anymore because of situations like this where so this is just we take the Fatal Push because Murder's Cut triggers Beanstalk. I don't think there's any path forward for it. We take the Merc. They may not. My goodness, what are we doing here? We're so screwed. I mean, if like Cecil flips through some, yeah, I mean they've got double removal. What can I say? And one like taking the push just makes the Murderous Cut even cheaper. I'll take the Murderous Cut No, because that doubles over their graveyard at least, so they can't murk. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to come in. And I don't care about losing life. You have to find a blue source to kill me. And they may know about a blue source on top of their deck. They take 2, I take 2. Getting closer to flipping. If they play blue source, I probably concede. They don't have it before combat. Okay. This is helping me. You're potentially giving me my lifelink, dude. Granted, they are going to be able to cut. Okay, that's great. So they're going to force whatever I play here. So maybe 2 small spells, and I hold the Bowmasters for next turn. This doesn't flip, by the way, until after combat. So when it deals damage, it's not like I can go to 10 life and it immediately flips. It's not a static ability like Death Shadow. Yeah, I think I just go ahead and go in, and they're probably going to cut it. And then I can Goyf. And that Goyf will be slightly taller as a result. They may just cut it before combat, which actually saves me 2 life. But I'm not going to not get this damage. Goyf will be a good enough blocker. Now I'm going to, I guess, go ahead and play the Goyf. And then if I Fatal Push here, it gives them even more fodder. Oh, they forced that? That's great. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to happen. And now, maybe it makes sense to just kill this now so I don't have to worry about it later. I don't think it really matters. I can wait. In case they like flip a Tomio or play a Tomio off the top of their deck, that would be really strong. This is just a cut. I can't avoid that. And if we get Barry Goyf running, he is really running. Their hand is Merc and 2 unknown. We could just push this. I am a little bit worried about my life total. I'm going to take it. No, I'm not going to take it because I need to use this life for something. I think if they had a Tomio, maybe they don't pre-combat it. Maybe they have Tomio, at least Bowmasters answers it. They do have another force. They did not force pitch force. Wait, did they? They did. Witherbloom. Okay. So I'm glad I didn't play on my Bowmasters. What did they get back? No cards. Okay, well, that's bad luck. They're really wanting to cast that Bowmasters over that Murktide over there. All right, so I think here the players just slam a berry and they have to force it, and then we slam another one. They don't have to force it, but I think they likely will. They just let it through. Okay. So we've dealt with 2 removal spells. They could have a third one. Okay, they drew a swamp. This is where like their jank mana base. Oh, okay. Okay. I see how it is. What's worse than a Baragorf? 2 Baragorf. Let's do it. Or 3? Holy cow, that's freaking insane. I'm just going to attack. I don't want them to know that I have another one. Trade me. You would be a fool to let this resolve. Like, let the ability resolve. In my humble opinion. Okay, yeah, and they agree. They trade. So we both gain life. Now let's go ahead and do this. And they're probably going to force here. No? Oh, they can't force. They've got a Merc, which will be big, but I think I can beat it. Oh my goodness. Are we going to win this on the strength of Baragorf? Baragorf is so good. Douthie. I mean, I'm tempted to cut this off because I do believe they still have this Merc in hand. I think we go ahead and swing first, see what they do. It's going to give me some life to pad my life total a little bit. If they like brainstorm in desperation, then I've got them with the Bowmaster. Okay. I think we can beat a Merc. I'm going to go for this. Don't punish me with the days, please. Holy cow. They could just Pernicious Deed and then blow up the board. Fatal Push. Okay. So Merc is still good, but Merc dies to Baragorf, and Merc can't race Baragorf. Even if it's like 8-8, I don't think he can race. Dredge! Oh my goodness. So good. All right, so options. 1, we take them off blue completely. I think we attack first. We attack first. And see if they have some desperation move. I don't want to turn on Revolt if Fatal Push is in their hand. Bowmasters is fine. I do kind of want to Dredge first just so I get the card and then I can choose what to do. They can ping one of the dudes if I do that. Yeah, I don't really care if they ping one of the dudes. Okay, we got 5 dudes. Pretty sweet. Don't have Pernicious Deed, please. Okay, and we drew a Dark Ritual. Holy cow, Dark Ritual is insane here. I can play the Bowmasters and the Douthie this turn cycle, and I can't waste as well. I do think I want to waste. No, I'm going to do both of these. I mean, we're like making ourselves so susceptible to Deed. It's not even funny though. If that's a card they draw, I think I'm just going to waste them off blue here and be patient. And then I get Dark Ritual into Bowmasters, and they will not expect that. So their hand is Murktide. I think we've got this game handily. I can't believe the run we're on with this deck. This is the real deal. Dredge was such a sick rip with our, the cost associated with Hatchery is so low. Paying a life each time you tap it is really not that bad. But the upside is just so immense. Like so many bodies our opponents have to deal with. Hopefully my opponent's not having connection issues, because I consider this game an over game, basically. They would need to draw a lot of things. They need to draw a land, and then they need to play out a Pernicious Deed, and then they would need to have 3 mana to Deed. They did find a land. Okay. So I was correct in wasting there. Okay, this is good. Now I have Bowmasters up. I'm just going to come in for hugs. They may chump here. That's the correct thing to do. Not to give me the card. Okay, well, they're opting to give me the card. Yes, I'd like to mill 4 cards. I will take this Bowmaster. Sure, free Bowmaster. Can't hurt, right? And I'll just play it out. They scooped to that. They should have chumped, frankly. In my opinion, you never let Barrier connect. That Bowmaster does so little against my deck. All right, so we're 3-0. We've only lost 1 game this entire time. Having a blast. See you in round 4. All right, we're up against an unknown opponent in round 4. Last seen on Mardu Cats. We're on the draw. If anybody knows what Tau Bye Bye is, if it's some sort of pun or some sort of reference that I'm missing, please tell me in the comments. This hand's pretty solid. Weak to waste. If they're on an aggro deck, Thoughtseize is bad. They kept 7, which means they're probably on a fair deck, because the London Mulligan is so good that you almost always want to use it. Stamping out Nethergoyf after Nethergoyf is not a bad strategy against an aggro deck. I'm going to hope that they're on aggro. If they're not, we can shred their hand. We just need a land. Yeah, and we have Fatal Push if they're fair. I like this, actually. I think this is good against fair and good against unfair alike. About as good as we can get. I don't think we're going to mull into a much better one. We can also waste our Hatchery, which is not what you want to be doing. Please don't be a blue-black rare. Okay, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. Okay, double Dark Ritual. I double doggy dare you to win this turn. You might be able to. Are you going to Storm? Gristlebrand. Oh, they are on Reanimator. Yeah, we're dead. Let's see more of their deck, I guess. I'll just wait for them to have to go to discard. We'll see if they're on 10 fins or some nonsense. All right. Perfect 7. They didn't even need to do the second Dark Ritual. Yep, 4 cards. Do you have the Children of Corliss? There's nothing in our deck that can beat them. I just want to be clear. We've lost this game. I'm just trying to see what they discard here. And if they're smart, they won't discard anything super useful. They've already seen our hand, right? Yeah, they thought No, they thought themselves. Stop. Concede the game. Did they get to see our hand? Okay, it didn't say we revealed, so maybe they didn't get to see our hand. Sorry. Yeah. I was like, wait, why do we have 7 cards? Oh, they didn't. They thought to use themselves. Okay. So here, now Spellbomb definitely comes in. Unmask, we just have to be fast. Baragwif is a liability. You definitely don't want to board him in against Reanimator, because you're giving them an excellent reanimate target. None of these other cards are that strong. Bowmaster is obviously annoying if your opponent reanimates it, but it's not. Cards that come out. Fatal Push. I'm going to assume that they're not on any sort of fair strategy. Sometimes they do pivot to but the blue-black version is usually using Show and Tell as a backup, and I don't think they're going to try to rely on that. Well, they don't know what we're on. They know we're not a Force of Will deck, or they can suspect that. They can also suspect that we're a crappy player because we let them Cabal Therapy us, that I suck. All right, so let's cut we're on the play. I don't want to cut a land. That previous hand was pretty iffy. I'd be stunned if this Hatchery combo is the way that we win. That might be the cut. A lot of these cards are extremely fair. Stalactite Stalker, I think, is probably the weakest of them. But it does get down quickly and reduce their life total, whereas This is super slow. I'm going to cut a Dredge. Everything else does damage, and that's really important against these decks. Anything else that is worth merit, like would merit consideration? I don't think so. Let's do it. You used to have to worry about like Douthie and Grief and stuff like that from these mono black reanimate decks, but Grief's banned. Everyone pour one out for their favorite card, Grief. I mean, this is a turn 1 Bowmasters and Cecil followed up with Wastelands. I think this is good enough. I like to think it's good enough. Yeah, I mean, like, they're not going to have a turn 1 like that every time. They may... Okay, there's a very quick mold to 5. I'm used to beating these decks pretty consistently, but not without Force of Will in my hit deck. This is... Like, these decks just chew up fair decks like that don't have Force. Okay, so let's... I guess I could have just mulliganed once to see if I could find a Nile Spellbomb or Thoughtseize. I'm just going to hope that, you know, if they're using Gristlebrand, that Bowmaster is good enough. They did open with a non-basic last game. So if we play out the Nethergoyf, it's just a 2-3, but yeah, I'm going to play out the Cecil, so at least we can get some self-damage going. And maybe Flipper. Him. Again, still not used to calling a character named Cecil, referring to it as a him. I suppose this is my fate as a dark knight. Soon I won't even feel remorse for my actions. I'd like to see the flavor text on the back. I think there is some. Oh, Scoob! We are so freaking lucky. That's insane. Insane. I'm going to deny them a Surveil. I don't even care about the card draw. Take 4. And it's fair because they'll take 2. We're not going to, like, the card draw is of no concern to us. Like, we're just going to leave this on the table and they can engineered explosives it or something, like get rid of it somehow. Or they can just die. I guess I could have played out another Nethergoyf to speed up our clock. Yeah, that was, yeah. I was like hoping to punish a Surveil. I'll do it this turn. Okay, we have a Surveil of our own. I think that's better than a waste. So I'll play with the Nethergoyf here. And we'll come in for a lot of damage. They may have a Bowmaster of their own. I don't think they are likely playing any sort of, you know, creature interaction in their extremely unfair Glass Cannon deck. Yeah, we'll just chill. Like if I have to announce Pokemon, at least I can go get a swamp and do something with it. Please Surveil. I want to waste your Surveil land so bad. So I'm going to let them Surveil first. And then I will waste after they've decided what. Okay, Dark Ritual to the yard. You probably have plenty of land, but I'm still going to waste this. And winning on the play, especially when you get super lucky and super rewarded for your bad decision, your greedy keep to not mulligan. This is easy. The hard part is winning on the draw game 3. We have to hope that they have a slow start then. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and Surveil now. I have to be careful not to put any good reanimate targets in our graveyard. Like that. I'm not going to do that. That's a great card. I'll play that out. They are pretty dead. I'm going to play this out first. I'm going to play this out just to force them to abandon all hope. They are not winning through the graveyard here. We'll attack with everything. Yeah, I'm not going to Nihilus Bow them just for an extra damage. It's not lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's not lethal. They're so low in life. Like, even if they did put a Gristlebrand on the table, it's not going to win. All right, do you have another Surveil land? I would love to waste it. They may have Show and Tell. But they're going to be showing telling with very little life left, and this Douthie just doesn't care if you have a blocker. So they're going to have to, like, Show and Tell attracts it doesn't matter because I can just Douthie. Show and Tell the dude that gains life and makes you lose stuff, that would be bad. Okay. So they're going to win without having to use the graveyard. Spoils of the Vault. Good luck. You got 3 life. I like to see how negative their life goes here. And it'll also be helpful to see all their cards that they reveal and what they named here. Chain of Smog? What? Excuse me? How did you know Chain of Smog was there? What the hell? How did they know the Chain of Smog was there? Did they just get lucky? And like it was just happened to be on top of their deck? Okay, leave a comment with a timestamp if you understand what just happened. That feels extremely unlikely. I'm going to ask them. It's like probably like a 1 in 15 chance that it would have been there. I'm not going to concede till they freaking answer my question. I'm going to be a salty, they gain life and we lose life. I guess they just got lucky. Like, I don't know. That's crazy to me. They did have show and tell in hand. All right. You don't have to answer me. I'll just move on with my life. It's frustrating though. Like, we had this game totally locked down. There was nothing I could have done. Like, there was no window where I could have wasted them. All right, the trophy's dead. Good news is we probably weren't going to win that one anyway. The other good news is we get to play against Grindstone Cowboy, who's super chill. I think they stream. They used to be a painter player, but now they're playing Nadu, of course. This is like potentially like a triple. Like, we can play our entire hand turn one. I'm going to keep this and hope it does something. Because if you think about it, so we swamp, we dark ritual, we Thoughtseize. Then we can decide whether to Thoughtseize a second time or to deploy the Stalker or the Nethergoyf or both. And then we can hold Dark Ritual in case we don't draw another land. I don't want to Dark Ritual again just to get like a Stalactite Stalker out that's not even going to grow. But I am going to keep this. And I'm going to assume they're on Breakfast. So I think Thoughtseize is actually pretty good against Breakfast, since it is an AB combo deck. But like, I feel robbed of that game too, but like, again, realistically, our deck just isn't going to win that game 3. I think our odds of winning were less than 10% probably. And that, yeah, because like they'd have to have a slow hand, and then we'd have to get the Spellbomb in. But like, I just don't know. They never responded to my message. Okay, so we did draw a second Swamp, which makes me less inclined to hold on to the Dark Ritual. So let's go ahead and Dark Ritual once. Thoughtseize them. Now, if they know anything about me, they know I'm not on some degenerate combo deck. Okay, Urza Saga is actually pretty scary here. We don't really need to Thoughtseize them a second time. I think I wait. So let's take the Brainstorm here. And their hand is a bunch of lands. And then, yeah, I don't want to take the Force. I don't care. I'll play the Goyf and the Stalker. Urza Saga is not scary in their deck. Like, it does go get the combo piece, but it's not like that big of a deal. They'll probably play it out now. We might get lucky and find a Wasteland. I am going to Thoughtseize them. Technically, next turn is better because we get to see more cards. Let's see what we draw. Okay, Wasteland is great. So I think we just waste this immediately. Then I can chill for a turn cycle. Yeah, I'm just going to do this immediately, see what they have to say about it. They float. That's fine. Now I'm going to go to combat. This will grow. And I'm trying to think, what's the scariest thing they could... Like, they would have played something last turn if they had it. I don't think it hurts to wait a turn. Like, they could draw a blue card to have Force to protect their, like, a Nadu or something like that. But, like, I think that's the scariest thing that could happen here. They played a land that I didn't know about. That was a punt. So now I know that was one of their cards that they drew for turn. I still think we Thoughtseize. This is a Surveil land, and this is also gives me the option. I think we Surveil first, because this might put some type in the graveyard that makes Nethergoyf bigger. I'm going to bin that just to make Nethergoyf bigger, and we're going to come in for a hug. They don't have any flash threats, so this will grow. We're hitting them for 7 next turn. I am going to Thoughtseize here. At the worst, we can take the Force. But we know they shouldn't have Force plus blue card plus something to protect. I don't believe they will. Okay, they're surveilling. I don't know why they're doing it now. I guess this tells them as to whether they should bother forcing this. They kept the top. That's scary for the combo deck to keep their top. Well, I'm going to take the Force here. We can play around the days. Unfortunately, if we had more mana, we could potentially kill their creature with this ability. If they Nadu here, it's going to be so tilting. Prismatic Ending, that sucks. Okay, well, that was their draw for turn. So their hand is Daze, Misty, one unknown. No, wait. That should have been the unknown. What was the other card? Was it also another land? Yeah, I'm not sure. That's weird. I'm confused. This allows us to keep doing our thing. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'll do it in the instep, I guess. Well, no, I need to do it before the end step to get the beneficial trigger. Let's go get a swamp. We are running low on swamps. In fact, this is our last swamp. So our fetches don't do anything anymore, which may seem scary, but like our deck's not designed to like, okay, they're fetching. Another surveil. So again, I want to emphasize, like we have instant speed creature kill if we absolutely need to use it. It's not pretty. Brainstorm here. That's a pretty good card considering the Daze is dead. Do you have the combo? Sure looks like you might have the combo. Ponder. They have so many combo cards. Like they have so many A's and so many B's. If the game goes on, it's like darn near deterministic. They scooped. Okay. And they actually were dead on the board because of the fetch. Okay. Well, winning against breakfast, we take those. Torpor Orb it shuts off. It really only shuts off their win off of, I don't know that it's worth playing. Yeah, it doesn't affect any of the other things in their deck. Creatures entering don't. Barragoyf is okay, but it's slow. I actually don't think Barragoyf is good. I do think we can play another Nile Spellbomb just to quickly shut off the graveyard to victory. I can cut a fetch here. I don't want to cut a swamp just because, I mean, like going wide with Dredge might actually be pretty good. All these other cards are great. Yeah, I can cut a land. Unmask feels extreme to me. It might be worth playing. On the draw, we're going to have extra cards. Let's and then if we're bringing it in, like part of me wants to take out Dark Ritual. I know that may seem like a weird thing because we did have like an explosive turn thanks to Dark Ritual. But we also had a Dark Ritual that just rotted in our hand. And I'm like, we need to move fast. But at the same time, like we need to remove key cards. We need to remove, like it's harder to stop the A's. You want to stop the B's, which are like the Nadus and the fact that Stalactite to Stalker is removable is relevant. We just lowered our curve, but we did remove mana sources. I didn't think this through. Him seems insane. They're always going to have cards in hand because that's where they like keep their cards safe. Usually, I think we could probably cut a Dredge. But I mean, the Unmask actually makes Dredge better. I'm stuck on the treadmill. What do I do? What do I do, Mom? All right. I think I'm going to take out a Stalker just because it is weaker than Goyf in terms of like standing up to a lot of the things. Yeah, and we don't need to draw two of them. Let's do this. Okay, so this hand, not bad, not great. I'm going to keep it. We have the graveyard shut off. We have Wasteland, which is the most important card against their deck. Okay, so they may have a turn two, and I like to respect those. They don't have Daze up. I want to get Hatchery cooking with the Spellbomb. Let's see what we draw. I might just draw some dead card that I can pitch. No, I didn't. I don't know about pitching Cecil. It doesn't feel right. I think it is right though. But like then we don't have really any threats at all. But we have this Hatchery that's ticking up and that might be the only threat we need. Netherwolf is better than Cecil, but at the same time, let's think about it. Actually, I think Cecil is better because yeah, I'm going to keep Cecil. Okay, Prismatic Ending. They don't have the combo. They've got a bunch of crap that doesn't matter, which is great for us. But they could rip, so I do need to go ahead and respect their ability to rip. Yeah, and that was important because they could have just, killed this and then won. So we're not going to go after their mana. That's not going to matter this game. They're actively helping our Cecil strategy here by attacking us. But like if they rip into a Nadu, that's like death for us, basically. We don't have any sort of creature interaction here. I think it is worth just like wasting repeatedly. So I'll do this just to respect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to end step. I'm going to wait. Maybe I upkeep. Yeah. And then if they fetch, then they may try to surveil. I just want to keep them off blue for a couple more turn cycles in case that's relevant. I'm not too concerned about this green. Actually, yeah, let's see what they get here. I will waste that because that's both green and blue. Like my theory is if we keep them off green, but they have the freaking cavern, I would need so many wastelands. All right, this way they at least can't just willy-nilly start cantrip chaining. They can't get a perfect brainstorm anyway. That's the main thing. Okay, and they can go do something now. In theory, they could just shuffle it and then they could try to... Oh, that's annoying. Well, so they've used the Misty. They have Flooded Strand, Cavernous Souls, One Unknown. Yeah, we're going to like definitely lose this one. If... Can Cecil redirection? I think it still has Death Touch. The damage still has Death Touch if they redirect to Tommy. So they can't block Tommy. Okay, that's a freaking rip. Yeah, I'm definitely going to just push this. We don't have any... Yeah, I need to do this before I do anything else. Okay. I do want to take this land. I don't think there's any harm in doing it. Like, I could try to keep them off blue, but I can't keep them off blue anymore. I can keep them off green, but only their sideboard cards, like if they have Veil, because they have Cavern. And they have probably a Trop left in their deck as the third green source. So I would need another Wasteland to be able to keep them off green. Okay. They have white now again, but it's starting next turn. Okay, and they're actively helping me. Like, I want to flip Cecil. I guess he loses Death Touch, though. Oh, my goodness. I do think we waste here just for tempo reasons. They have lots of lands, but, like, we're slowing them down. We're doing damage. I'm just doing damage to myself. All right. After damage. I'm glad I saw that. I almost missed that trigger. Okay, now... so that cuts them off white. But they have this. This represents either color. But it probably only represents one color. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a plow by this point. They don't have good attacks. Come on, Dredge. Oh, so good. So freaking good. My goodness. Oh, what do we do here? We still have a Surveil up, which I think is more important than getting this other one cracking. And they don't know it, but they're like getting pretty close to dead. I am going to go ahead and just Dredge now. So I can draw a card and it might be like a Fatal Push. Okay, it's just another land. That's fine. Yeah, they're not dead on board, but if they fetch, they are. And yeah, I assume they're probably going to just... They try to do some graveyard shenanigans. At least I can get a card for it. They're at 9. Do you have Nadu? Nadu me, baby. I love it. I love being Nadu'd. There's nothing I can draw here, unfortunately. Let's think about this. So we go get Swamp. We crack this. I mean, like, the graveyard is still a way they could, in theory, win. So I do think we're supposed to just keep the Now Spellbomb around. But we're not going to win this anymore, unfortunately. They get, like, so many freaking cards. I mean, like, a Bowmaster might be able to do some damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. I think it'd be foolhardy to there they go, the plow right away for our creatures. Okay, you get a land too. They are actually pretty low on land, but yeah, that isn't that big of a deal. Wizard, okay. They may have. Yeah, it was just a matter of time. Now they have a Force. Okay, and they're gonna get a bunch more cards. Narco. They can't cast that out. That's all the triggers for the turn. Okay. I don't know what we could do here that is relevant. I'm just going to surveil. Is this relevant? I don't think this is good enough. I mean, how big is this going to be? It's not going to be any bigger than it is now. Like, this is almost certainly going to get plowed, which doesn't help us. They can also plow their own creature. A Bowmaster might be good, but like, they could force it. They can force anything we do. I'm trying to think if there's anything we can do that they can't force. Win. I don't think so. They do have to pay a life to force. They don't have lifelink. I mean, we're probably just going to draw a land after we play this out. We could, in theory, play this from our graveyard. What could we draw? Thoughtseize for the plow? I don't think that's good enough. And again, they'll just force it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna dare to dream here. Okay, Wasteland. Unfortunately, yeah. That's all I have to say. I'm going to go ahead and go in. They're going to draw a bunch of cards. They're probably going to find an answer, like a white source. They can just do this 4 times. They can't cast anything at instant speed, I don't think. So 4 is going to be the upper bound of what they can do. There's a Brainstorm. Yeah. I mean, I like almost always concede before I get to this point. Yeah, there we go. But we do have this Graveyard Disruption. Okay, let's attack all. They don't have plow here. I think they have to take this unless they want to lose their Nadu. They haven't drawn a replacement Nadu yet. They do have Brainstorm plus Tamio, so they can shut these off completely. That combined with the plow, the game's over. I mean, they can sit there and think about it, but there's nothing really to be thought about. Yeah, just they're throwing that away. Okay. They can redirect the damage. They can't redirect enough. Okay, so we killed their Nomad. Does that stop them? They haven't drawn another Nomad. They're at 5. I could waste a land. That might slow them down. Then if I waste a land, no, they have Wizards, so they can definitely play the Tamio, and then they can definitely cast her. And if they cast her, they can flip her. Yeah, like this will never get through Nadu. I don't see any path forward. Like even with that move that they made. Dispiriting. Okay. But that's what their deck does. It's one of the top 3 decks for a reason. Okay. Any changes here? Dark Ritual, would it have been good there? I don't think so. We were really low on land a lot of the game. My opponent did compliment my deck. I wish I could say the same, but it's kind of stale for me at this point. Playing against Breakfast. Playing against Nadu in general. I don't think people are going to pour one out for him once he's gone. And I do think he'll eventually be gone. It may just take another year or two for Wizards. Banned in every format except Legacy. Okay, this is a turn 1 him. Is that strong enough? I actually think this is good. Like, I'm going to do this. It's going to be a 2-for-1 if they counter it. But then we have follow-up Douthie. Yeah, I'm going to keep this. Wait, we have the Thoughtseize into him. I don't know how I missed that. Okay, yeah, this is... Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get our hatchery online. Start cooking some eggs. This is what our deck does. I'm not going to try to Douthie into Thoughtseize. I think that's like a high roll play, but it often doesn't work. And I do believe you're supposed to Thoughtseize first to clear the potential force. Holy guacamole, do they have a freaking hand here? My goodness. Oh my goodness, look at this. They've got an answer. They've got some more card selection. They've got force. We're probably going to put the freaking Narco in with the... They only have 1 land though. If we him the 1 land, that's going to be so insane. I am going to take the force here. I need to resolve this him. Boom. Oh, we missed the land. So they are left. They still have the combo. Yeah, that was terrible. That was an atrocious him. Okay. Okay. We're going to hang in there. Hopefully they don't hit lands. They have 20 lands in their deck. If they fetch, they have 18 lands left in their deck. This is the Shuko. They got a basic. That's smart. Ponder. Please shuffle this. Please let there be justice in this world. Just trying to beat it. Just an honest player trying to beat a freaking Nadu player. They did not shuffle. Okay. That's actually pretty necessary. I think we take one more turn. I want to take one more turn. They can't win next turn. I need to get this Douthie down and start doing something. At least this shuts off their graveyard strategy, and they did lose their prismatic ending. Uh-oh, they're fetching. Do you have a plow? That would suck. They have a freaking plow. Oh, a Nomad. Okay, well, I'm going to take the Nadu. That's fine. None of this stuff matters. It's just like we take the Nadu and hope they don't draw another land. That's the name of the game right here. Okay, Cecil's cool. One second, I got to refill my kids' milk. All right, that was my son. He came in and we kept our opponent in suspense here. They're tapped out. What's the worst that could happen? They could have force blue card. No, they have blue card and maybe a force. Let's think about this. We definitely want to get this into the void. Let's Thoughtseize them, and then we have Fatal Push. I feel like it's better to Thoughtseize first. Okay, we're definitely taking this Nadu here. That has to happen. I could push this, but it doesn't really change anything. We're not going to lose based on the clock. I am going to Cecil this turn cycle. Let's come in. Let's drop the Cecil. So Cecil is flipping next turn, and that'll be a pretty quick clock. They have the Brainstorm. They're going to need a lot of things to get them out of this, considering that Douthie shuts down their thing. But if they happen to find land plus Nadu, we could lose here. Being able to push their Nomad isn't good enough, unfortunately. Yeah, they found a land. That's good for them. All right. Please. Another Goyf. I mean, it like kills them faster. I need to do it before combat. We'll play it out. So if they have Nadu, at least I can Fatal Push and deny them some triggers. But like it's so tilting playing against this deck. Yeah, I get my flip dude. These are all indestructible now, so we can start attacking into Nadu. But if they have tons of cards in their hand, it's not going to matter. So if they have Nadu, like we push this. Okay, please don't find Nadu. Please, Grandstone Cowboy. I know you're very good at finding Nadu. I've seen some of your videos. Please put something into exile here. Windsoap Teeth into their graveyard. Wait, why did they go in? Oh, it just got exiled. Okay, good. Brainstorm again. That's fine. Please just whiff on land plus Nadu for one more turn so I can win. Got it. Cavern. Okay, they have another land. Is this Nadu? Is this Nadu? Just tell me. Wait, black? I think you tapped the wrong color and you gave me hope. Don't give me hope. Don't do that. Okay, so this is our last desperate move here. They still get Nadu triggers, but they only get 2 off the Shuko. And we can't kill them necessarily. There's the first one. Of course, they found a freaking... Sam, this is so tilting. Don't find a freaking land. Do not find a land. Oh, Dread Return. Actually, that's fine. That can be in your hand. Next turn, we're just Shadow Realm by Nadu. This sucks so bad. All my creatures get indestructible. This doesn't do anything. Freaking heck. Is there anything in their graveyard worth... No, I don't see a plow in there, unfortunately. So, this is not lethal. They can just block this. We don't have a land in there. We haven't used our Surveil. Okay, so here's what we do. We attack with everything. They could they're not going to block with Nadu. What we need to do is we need to Surveil and then find another type. Let's attack. They're going to block here. They're going to take 7. It's not enough. Okay. If the Surveil puts an artifact or a creature into the yard, which we have combined like 20 of in the deck right now, we can win. Thoughtseize doesn't do it. Thoughtseize does not do it. I think we just lost, unfortunately. My goodness, we were so freaking close against this menace of a deck. Oh my goodness, so tilting. So incredibly tilting. There's nothing we can do, I don't think. Because they're going to go get... Oh, they don't have white. Oh, no, they have Nomad. Okay, never mind. Never mind. You got it. You got it. I'm just going to F6. Such a pitiful way to end the league, but I can't say I'm playing against this deck. I mean, I can beat it, but not with this type of deck, usually. And I can't beat it consistently. The deck is overpowered. You're not going to consistently be able to beat this. They're going to find creatures. They're just going to go off like crazy from 2 life. There's the plow. Now they can win through the graveyard and blah, 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 blah. They pass our turn. What? Do you not have creatures? Okay. Well, you're still going to win. I don't know what to tell you. Thassa's Oracle. We have Cephalid Illusionist. Okay, so next turn you can win with the combo. Let me see what I'm going to draw for the turn, please. If it's Fatal Push, we can win. Fatal Push exactly, but that... Yeah, and they've already used their trigger. Wait, okay, this doesn't matter. They don't have more triggers, right? Yeah, and this dies in combat. I'm pissed. Like, I feel like we got robbed. We got robbed game 2. Or match 4. Like, I feel like this should have been a 4-1. We were so close to getting a 4-1 there, and then again, we would have lost that other game. I'm sorry. I'm so tilted. I'm so sick of playing against Nadu. Let's take a look here at the deck. So, first of all, it's a great deck. Dredge was pretty awesome. I wouldn't make any changes to the deck other than just like Dark Ritual was extremely useful there, just exploding, and that Thoughtseize, like, okay, land, Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize, or Hymn to Torque, right? Like, you would expect to win a game like that, right? It's just like nonsense that a combo deck can come back from that. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm venting. I don't think a lot of you in the comments are disagreeing with me. No, actually, Nadu's fine. There's not a problem with Nadu. I think everybody agrees there's a problem with Nadu. And I'm sorry if I seem excessively salty, but I was having a great league until that last round. A Grindstone Cowboy against super chill dude, but come on, let's play different decks. My goodness. Like that deck, until they ban Nadu, everybody's going to be playing it. And yes, it's a high skill deck that you have to get good at. I guess people probably complain about Amulet Titan. It's a high skill deck, but it's very powerful. It's not I can't imagine Amulet Titan being as annoying to play against as Nadu is. Yeah, I like the Unmask. They came up a lot. I feel like you have to play a card like this. I can understand playing like, oh, well, what if you were playing freaking, Curse Totem or something like specifically Nadu. And I don't know what to tell you. Like we had 8 cards in the deck that were anti-graveyard. And of course they went through Nadu anyway. That's like, you shouldn't even bother. Unless like Now's Problem is good because you can at least convert it to a card, but you shouldn't bother playing Grafdigger's Cage against Breakfast because they almost never actually win through the graveyard except that one time, and you're just like, oh, and then you board in your Grafdigger's Cage and you draw your Grafdigger's Cage. It doesn't do anything. Now's Problem doesn't have that problem. You can draw through it. It buffs your Goyfs. Yeah, I couldn't find a way to get the last damage. Nether Goyf would have died when we attacked. Oh wait, it would have been indestructible. I mean, we would have killed the Nomad, but they had another Nomad coming. They were going to get another 8 cards. They wouldn't have lost they wouldn't have given up the Nadu itself. They would have just blocked. Yeah, they just blocked the Nadu with the Goyf. So that Nadu survives because we couldn't get the final power on it. And then they blocked the Cecil with the Nomad. And then they just replaced the Nomad and draw 8 more cards. At least. Probably more like 20 cards. And I think they had the win too. So yeah, it was extremely frustratingly close. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this list. Again, shout out to that Italian player, Lorenzo Tassone, for brewing this. I had no idea Dredge was even a good card. I had no idea it was even a card. But apparently it's pretty good. Like, and if you don't want to play like full-blown Lone Pox, this is a great option. I still think Lone Pox is way better. Like, and if it hasn't come live, I've got a video of me playing Lone Pox where I just like completely destroy tons of decks. Like the Wasteland is real. It's not a 5-0, which you're going to know because it doesn't have the trophy on the front of it. If you want to watch me get some more just crazy hatchery action, hatchery debauchery is what I'll call it, going, then hit up the 5-0 run that I had with Lone Pox. That's a great league. I had a blast playing it. I love this card. This is one of the best designed, like most exciting Magic cards they printed in a long time. That's not like overly powered. Like Frog was very exciting. I had a lot of fun playing Psychic Frog, and it really busts your brain, like Frog Mirrors and stuff. I really enjoyed that at the Eternal Weekend where I played it. I played Esper and finished in the money at Eternal Weekend previous year when Frog was legal. But I understand it's too powerful. But Hatchery is not too powerful. It's a very reasonable card. It is power crept. It's a power crept version of Bitter Blossom. But it is a very reasonable card. And I don't think that it will ever get banned or anything like that. And it's nice to play with cards that where you're like developing muscle memory, you're developing skill, you're buying cardboard that isn't going to get banned. And I would not like invest any time in learning Breakfast or Reanimator or Carnforge right now. I would just wait and see because they should be banned. Like some cards out of those decks should be banned, but we'll see whether it happens. But like you're just wasting time and energy, like getting reps with a deck that is dated or like its days are numbered. And I don't like to do that, which is why I've kind of like gotten off Tamiyo decks. I don't really want to play Tamiyo decks at all. I'm so done with Tamiyo. I played her nonstop for like 18 months. Almost every deck I played had like 4 Tamiyo in it, and I'm just so bored of her. So anyway, if you're still listening to me rant, tell your friends. There's this guy named Be Excellent who plays a lot of Legacy, and encourage them to check me out on YouTube and join the Most Excellent Friends. That's a reference to Bill and Ted Excellent Adventures, the line that my most excellent friends that George Carlin says, the late, great George Carlin. And until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.